I'm going to show you how to find keywords specifically designed to make money for your YouTube video. And this is a technique that I don't see other people using. So we're going to look at the particular types of keywords that can bring in money to your YouTube video because people are paying for those keywords. And this translates very well on YouTube, although we're going to use a Google tool. We're going to actually use AdWords. And since Google owns YouTube, there's a pretty good crossover between those two. So let's get started and see how this works. The first thing you need to do is go to AdWords. And you can create an account if you don't have one. You don't need to fund it. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. I've already logged into my account. And once AdWords loads, we're going to go to Tools at the top, and then we'll go to Keyword Planner. And let's say you're promoting some kind of tutorial, maybe Ruby on Rails, for example. So I'll go ahead and type in Ruby on Rails over here into the Keyword Planner, enter one or more of the following, and then I'll click Get Ideas. And then once the ideas come in, you want to click Keyword Ideas to get out of the group ideas. So I'm going to click Keywords, and I'll go ahead and hide this graph up here. So I'll just click this icon, toggle chart, so it'll give me a little bit more room. Now what a lot of people do is they'll go through here and look and find which one has the highest amount of searches per month. And if we go through here, it's pretty low actually, but you can sort it by clicking on the column header up here. And so when I sort this, now we can see, okay, here's the ones with a lot more searches. These first three don't really look ideal though. So we can look at this one right here, number 4, Ruby Programming. That looks pretty good. That's got 2,900. It's also got low competition. This means I might have a fairly good chance of getting a good ranking with this keyword because there's not a lot of people competing for it. And this looks good, 1,900, and there's 1,600. So what you can do when you're creating a video on YouTube is actually use this as your title. And then you can hyphenate it and add a little bit more to the title. So maybe Ruby Rails hyphen a beginner's tutorial or something along those lines. You want to add some kind of supplemental text into your title and make your title a little bit longer, because Ruby Rails, or what is Ruby on Rails, is actually a little bit broad. So by doing this keyword, adding these keyword terms into your title, then doing a hyphen or a colon and adding more text to your title, you really get to narrow it down, and that makes people more interested in your video. That draws in a lot more interest. So you always want to do that with your title. Now this is the more common way of finding keywords. You go in here into the Google AdWords tool, type in some keyword, and then sort it by the average monthly searches. This is not what we want to do for this particular technique, however. I'm going to show you what we're looking for. So we've sorted by average monthly searches. You want to actually sort by suggested bid. You can see over here, there's dollar amounts. This is Google's way of telling you, here's what people are paying per click for these keyword terms. This gives us an idea of value for these keywords. So for example, if we went up here and tried any of these first 3, it looks like there's some of the lowest ones as far as suggested bid. But if we look at this one right here, the 4th one, it's a good bit higher, $11.34, and then we got this one down here for $14.72, which still has a good number of searches. It's got a medium competition, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So what we want to do is find one maybe that has even a higher dollar amount attached to it. So we're going to sort by suggested bid by clicking on that column. Now look what happens. We get some really high value here. We could go after Ruby on Rails. There's only 20 people looking for it, but if some of those people clicked, you're going to get a pretty good payout from your ads on YouTube just by monetizing your video. And you could use this as your first part of your title. You would do Ruby on Rails hyphen. Then you would put something like a beginner's tutorial, or a beginner's tutorial to get you up and running. So, make it a little more enticing like that. Just play around with the words after the hyphen and make it a little more interesting. Don't make it just something simple such as beginner's tutorial. Maybe something like start enhancing your web programming skills now. So Ruby on Rails hyphen, start enhancing your web programming skills now. Or move up in your job. Get that promotion now. Do something like that. Make it some kind of benefit that people really want to go after, not just beginner tutorial, because that's not interesting. That's not enticing. Okay, now back to the keywords and these prices. So 20 is not that much. So we might create a video and it's going to be some effort for only 20 people. And of those 20 people, maybe one or two might click on our ads. But because it's such a low pool of people, we may not make very much. But still, per click, we're going to get a decent payout from this. So we're going to look down a little bit more and try to find out maybe the 70 is worth it. We've got 90 right here, so that might be good. We've got Ruby on Rails security. We've got, this looks nice, 170. This looks even nicer, 390. I think this right here would be well worth targeting, this 390. I also think this 170 is well worth targeting. Still a nice payout off of this. Now, you're not going to get $22.18. You'll get a fraction of that. But you'll get a much higher fraction than if it was only $2.50. So that's why we're going after these that have this higher bid value. Now, this doesn't translate exactly into YouTube. On YouTube, the payouts are going to vary and they're going to be a little bit different. But YouTube doesn't have a tool like this where we can look. But because YouTube, people that are advertising on YouTube are using AdWords accounts, this is a fairly good idea of what ads are costing. And you also can get an idea, since you're going to get a fraction of this, you get some idea of what you might get. So off of this, maybe you'll get 50 cents or $1 versus if it was just $2.50, maybe getting a penny or 5 cents. And so we can scroll down. We've got that 390 there. We've got 320 here. That's really good, Ruby developer. And what you can do is if you're creating a channel that is focused on web programming, or even if it's just focused on Ruby programming, which is really good because you're niched down, you can create videos for all of these that have over 100, for example. You can create variations of these videos. And that way you can target all of these with over 100. This 140, this 320, this 390, and this 170. So that's 4 different videos right there. And because you already have the knowledge in this particular area, Ruby programming, it shouldn't be too much effort to go ahead and create variations of those different videos. Now we're going to look at how to find out if a keyword is trending up or down, because we don't want to select a keyword that might be trending down, meaning the monthly searches are continuously decreasing on that keyword. So let's take a look at a few of these and see how we can tell that. Right here next to our account, there's an icon that's a small graph. And if you hover over it, it's going to show you what's happening with that keyword. So for example, I'm going to go back to Ruby on Rails developer, which had 390 count right here. And if I hover over this icon, we can see what's been going on since a full year basically with this keyword. It's kind of stable. Things have not been trending up. They have not been trending down. They're just fairly stable. So this would be a good keyword to use. Let's go ahead and go down here to Ruby developer. Kind of the same outcome here as well. but looks as though it's trending up very slowly. So all the data for August, it looks like it kind of dropped off in August a little bit, but maybe it's just that all the data for August has not come into this graph yet. But this looks like a really good slow upward trend. So this is a really good keyword to use. And then there's Ruby on Rails development, and this is kind of stable. Although it's up and down, it's not a clear downtrend, it's not a clear uptrend. You kind of have it wobbling around a bit. So this is also still a pretty good keyword. And we're going to look at this. Let's see, that's about it. And also don't forget, we typed in Ruby on Rails, and that's the main keyword, and that one will always appear at the top. So we went down here into this grid, but the keyword you type in is always going to be at the top up here. And if we look at the graph for this, that is doing really well. And I would say this is an upward trend. Not sure what happened in August, but there was certainly a lot of traffic for this in August. So that's very good. And the fact that this is heavily searched, low competition, this would be an ideal keyword to target. It's got a great bid on it here. That'd be a good payout for us. And this is something we'd want to start our title with. Ruby on Rails, hyphen, and then we would, whatever angle we're coming at with that video, we would add some more text into the title after that hyphen. Now that we have a good idea about keywords to use, let's go ahead and put some of this into practice. So we're going to start off with our first keyword, Ruby on Rails. And I'm at YouTube, and when I type this into the search, there's some hints that come up related to this search. And what these are, right here, these terms that are popping up, these are very popular search terms. So these are good traffic. Now, this video is about making a distinction between lots of traffic and traffic that will actually pay or will actually click through. And by targeting those keywords that have high bid amounts, that's traffic that is likely to click through into that keyword, because these advertisers know that there's money to be made with those keywords. So right here, we stick with Ruby on Rails. This is going to be our top keyword. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and right here you can see we have 116,000 results. These results are spaced out, some of them over a number of years. So if I scroll down through here, we've got so far 3 years. This is 6 years old, and it's got 270,000 views. So that may sound like a lot, but remember, this is 6 years old. So we're going to go ahead and do some sorting here and start getting a better look at the performance of these videos using this particular keyword. And up here at the top, there's a filters drop down. If you click that and then click view count, it'll sort by view count. It's going to put the ones with the most views at the top. And here we have videos that are 7 years old, almost 600,000 views, but again, across 7 years. Now, I'm not saying that's bad. That's a lot of views, but we want to see what is performing well now, something that's not quite that old. So these 3-year-old ones, that's not bad. 162,000 views is really good. And if you want to see actually this year, you can go back to filters and select this year. It'll only show you videos from this year. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to this one that was 3 years old, the Ruby on Rails tutorial part 1. This is not too old, and I think it's going to be an ideal setup of how we might want to create our descriptions and our title and our tags. So I'm going to go ahead and click this one, and I'll go ahead and pause this as well. Let's see here. What we want to do is just look at what they have in their title. How well is this description being used? and then I'm going to provide you with some information on how you can get yours to rank. Okay. So there's a few links in the description. There's not really too much in here though. So what we would do is Ruby on Rails, we'd put our hyphen and then we would put some text behind it. So we might do a getting started, especially for beginners. We want to put some additional text after this hyphen that details our video a little bit. Then put that same information as your first line in your description. So put your title back into your video. Type out some kind of description related to your video. And then add links. Maybe add a link to the main Ruby site, some kind of forum, maybe a link to particular constructs that you're using inside of your video. This will help make your video more relevant. It'll be a resource, a very good resource for people watching the video. And for tags, which you can't see the tags here, but as you're creating the video, you can do tags. For these, you might put in relevant keywords. So you would have Ruby on Rails, you would have Ruby, you might even put Rails in there. Then just put in some more keywords and some more terms that have to do with your particular video. And then you can put some that are kind of generic, such as web developer, web programming, things like that. Web application programming, tutorial, web programming tutorial. So these relevant kind of keywords would go into your tags. And if you want, you can also, before you paste in your tags, paste them into the bottom of your description. And then put links to your website, to your blog, your Facebook, Twitter handle, whatever other social media links that you might have, go ahead and add them. So what you're doing there is really beefing up your description, your video description. This is all going to help your video ranking. Now we're going to see how to monetize videos, which you are going to need in order to take advantage of your keywords and hopefully the popularity of your videos. So in your YouTube account, if you click on your icon in the top right and go to Creator Studio, you'll land in an area that looks something like this, and then click on Video Manager. Select one of your videos, then select it for edit. There's an edit button you can select. Then you'll come into an editor that looks like this. Once in here, click on monetization. And then if your video is over 10 minutes, you'll have these options down here. Otherwise, you'll have, should be the first two right here. And this is a good point. If your video is over 10 minutes, you can show ads in the video towards the end of the video. There's a few more placements for ads, which means more opportunities to make money. So if you can go over 10 minutes, and for these options here, because I am over 10 minutes, this one, mid-roll ads, you have to supply and at some point that you want a particular ad to show. So this is kind of the ad that will show in the middle of the video. This video here is 10 minutes, 55 seconds, you can see here. And I've got this ad to show at 1 minute and 35 seconds. And for this, you really want to show it at a point where the video maybe transitions a little bit, and rather than showing it during the middle of something important. When there's a pause or there's a break, maybe show there. As the video transitions from one area to another area, or some content into a different piece of content, then show the ad. So that way it's not really disrupting the user experience. Also, make sure you have monetization enabled for your channel. And to do that, you can click Channel and then go into Monetization. And from here, you can monetize, and you can link to your AdWords account as well. And if you don't have an AdWords account set up, go ahead and set that up, and then you can link to it. That way you can begin showing ads on your videos. And once you do that, once everything is linked up, you have ads showing on your videos, you can then begin checking and making sure that your earnings are coming through. And you can see that under analytics. And maybe after a week, after 2 weeks, check your analytics and check under your earnings and then see to make sure everything is correct. And you should start seeing some earnings coming through. Now we're going to see how to get our video ranked very fast. And to do that, we're going to ping it. There's a few sites that you can use to do this. One is called pingler.com. And what you do here is type in the title of your video right there, or just paste that in, the YouTube URL. And by the way, it's also good to put your video URL in the description. Maybe not right below the title, which is also in the description, but maybe in the middle, something like video URL and then the YouTube URL, which you'll get once you publish the video. Now, category, some of this stuff is not as important, but it would be good to just go ahead and select a few. Then there's the ping services and fill out the CAPTCHA and ping. What it's going to do is go through and hit all these services, and then it's going to complete. And maybe within an hour, just a few hours, start typing in your title keyword terms. So the first part of your title before the hyphen in YouTube, type that into the search and see if it starts coming up. And most of the time, it'll come up fairly quick. Here's another one you can use. It doesn't hurt to use multiple. So this is pingomatic.com without the hyphens. This is similar again to what we did earlier. Paste in the title of your YouTube video, the URL. So there's not as much to type in here. You don't have to worry about the RSS URL. Check all of these and send pings. And here's one more, googleping.com. So kind of the same drill here. Just type in the name of your video, put in your video URL, and then go through and select all these. And all you have to do here is check all, check all, check all. And then you can go ahead and send pings. And that's going to ping your site. And then again, after you do all of these, go ahead and check in YouTube's search for your title with your keywords. You don't have to type in your full title, just the main keywords, after about an hour, and see if it's already coming up. If it's not, then wait a little bit and then check later on and see if it's coming up then. And you can also check on google.com. Now, that's a little harder to do. I know there's a lot of tutorials out there about how YouTube videos will also come through in Google. They used to, but they don't as much anymore. So I wouldn't worry about right now trying to fight that and get them ranked in Google. I would focus on YouTube, because all of this, what we've discussed here, is geared toward getting you clicks on your video and making money that way through ads. And so this is really just focused on YouTube at this point. So I hope that helps, and I hope you get a lot of clicks. You start seeing some payout in your AdWords and begin making some money. Thank you. If you want more YouTube tips, click on the top left video. And if you want to check out all the playlists on my channel, just click on the bottom left video. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and get all of my latest updates.